This meeting of the Eastham Board of Library Trustees will be video recorded and broadcast over local access channel 8 and through the town website at www.eastham-ma.gov. This meeting is called to order at 3:30 p.m. We have no members of the public or comment. And Solana, did you have any?
You're going to do the minutes of November 18th.
Yeah, I think we should do the minutes. So let's go back. I have a motion to approve the minutes of November 18th.
So moved.
And second, we have a second. Is there any discussion or corrections, additions? Mary?
And I had spoken to Willow prior to, and I did you change it? The one I have here still has.
It's changed, but that's the original one that went into the package, but it's an Aaron S.
Yeah,
And it's right. And the final one, Mary.
okay, the one that is been.
The one that's going to the town.
Oh,
is
going to
correct.
town. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
And Willow does that, so she has the.
Yeah, right, yeah.
You got
Sorry
sorry
about
on the outside.
So the one in the packet here is not the one that's the final.
That's got an Aaron S in it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the motion then should be that we're approving the minutes as edited. Sarah, your
Yes.
second still stands. So we have a motion to approve the minutes as edited, and it's been seconded. Any further discussion?
Oh, I'm sorry, who was the first person?
I was first, Robin was second.
Sarah and Robin.
Okay, so let's see, Mary?
Aye.
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 Aye. Okay, 5-0, the minutes are approved. No members of the public. And Jenna, Solana, any comments from our student ambassadors? Anything happening on
Actually, I have a question.
Oh.
So I know some people who play in a few of like the local bands, like they're high schoolers. I know you've done something similar, or at least something I think adjacent. Like, would you ever do something like that again?
Like the teen rock night, is that what you're?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yes, I know that Leah wants to do something like that at least annually.
Okay.
I don't know what her plans are for the rest of this school year, but I'll definitely mention it to her to see if it's on her radar for the
Okay.
rest of this year. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? Okay. So Debbie, Friends of the Library.
Turnip Fest. We broke a record. We sold over $4,000 worth of merchandise, which was like almost 1,000 more than we've ever sold, which was pretty amazing. Definitely requests for size 3X in a lot of different sizes. And more than a few customers, and we can thank Melanie as one of the people who was wearing hers. More than a few customers requested we bring back the classic white lettering on black t-shirt. What happens at the Turnip Festival stays at the Turnip Festival. So I mentioned it to Judy and she goes, no. And I said, yeah. We, in our meeting and also at the Friends meeting and also at our 10th birthday celebration meeting, we touched on a few more details and I showed a couple of the commemorative ornaments that Jim Russo and I have been talking about, which I'm sure you all have probably 10 of them. But that's basically, those are local ones, an idea of what they look like. It's the Beacon Design Company has done those. They're in Rhode Island, so it's all local, which is great. The design and the making of them is in Rhode Island. So that's one thing, we're continuing to develop that idea. Karen's music program committee is I talked to them and they are going to assist in developing a program that for the celebration that involves the piano, which they were. Consensus was to leave up the inside holiday decorations through the first week in January. So we'll catch a date at the end of the first week. The outside lights usually stay through January. Sheila reported that the garden volunteers, who are the two in particular who work every Wednesday outside year round, regardless of the weather, they all got together for a coffee a couple weeks ago. And we decided the friends gave them gift certificates. And I said, Agway or Ace? And Sheila said, oh no, Ace. They want Ace. That's good. And I got a lovely note from them. We've also hired Thiago's Landscaping to winterize the reading garden. The two in particular, our outside people said they're aging out of the doing that. And now that we've had this weather, I'm sure they're really aging out of doing it. And he is very reasonable. He's the one who cleans out the swales out in the parking lot a couple of times a year, and he charges like $80.
Yeah.
You know, he's a friend of Sheila's. He likes helping the library out, so he's very reasonable, and he, of course, will do a lovely job. Art and Kathy are on the music committee, and Art gave us an update of the winter music series. They have everything lined up, and they have lots of people for the spring music series also. He said there'll be a good diversity of genres and new artists, so that's a good thing. Other than that, our next regular meeting is February 5th.
Thank you very much. Questions or comments?
Yeah, does anybody have any feedback at all about, I'm sure you've all seen these,
No, okay.
you know, they're, and I can picture like a cool library design, the one that we use on stationery and the one that's on the website. That's such a great
With the lights on,
kind of,
the lights are on in the
yeah,
building.
kind of iconic look of our library. So,
Okay,
okay, good.
thank you very much. Melanie, director's reports.
Yes. So we've got a few things coming up. Our annual legislative event is usually held in January. We're looking at tentatively Friday, January 16th, but we're waiting for confirmation from the delegation about their availability. The Osterville Public Library has offered to host. And as in years past, we should have the ability to send at least 2 people from our library. So that's traditionally me as the director and one of the trustees. If the opportunity arises for additional invitations, I will let you know as soon as possible for that. Yeah, that's it on the legislative event. This is the time of year where we put together the annual report for the town. I attached my draft, and in between when I sent the packet out to you and today, Al sent me a couple of edits. So I've included those and updated those. And if anybody else had an edit, please let me know.
Do you want us to send them to you?
Yes, that'd be great if you had, an edit. A couple years ago, we started doing an annual kind of check-in about who we do community collaborations with. So I've attached, as a supplement to my report, it's just a list of community collaborators in FY26. So this is kind of our existing collaborations, people that we're continuing to do things with. I have things from years prior to kind of document the change in this over time. And I have a sort of separate spreadsheet that documents in a little more detail what these events are, so that if I'm referring back and I can't remember what we've been doing with the police department, I can kind of refer back to that. And if you have any additions to this list, please send them to me and I will include it in the spreadsheet for our future reference.
What about the clams organization that aren't you the president of that?
Yes,
I didn't hear what you said. Sarah.
Sorry, the clams organization that she's the president.
see things like clam. I guess I kind of took for granted that because we're part of clams, but we could definitely mention that separately. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Other upcoming things, Leah and Megan are going to be helping me out as we kind of transition to new coordination of the Repurposed Book Art Festival and Contest this year. It will be February again. We've sent out book materials to the elementary school as well as the middle school and high school. We've got teachers on board and committed classes for that. So that's wonderful. As just sort of a side opportunity that we had, a local artist, Cheryl Jaffe, has a paper tree sculpture that features paper leaves with text from Maya Angelou's works that we're thinking of featuring sometime mid-January, also through February, just as a complement to the theme of repurposed book art. And just as a fun little fact, she does workshops too, so I'm thinking that might be of interest to our community members. So we're exploring that as a possibility as well. Other updates you may have seen on your way down here that we have World Ecosystem Projects on display from Amy Fleischer's seventh grade science class. That's an ongoing collaboration that we have with that class. We do 2 to 3 displays from that class every year for the past couple of years. So that's been a really nice opportunity. In January, we're going to be doing how the body recovers from an injury. So look forward to that. Those are the updates that I have.
Okay, thank you. Any questions, discussion? Okay. I am not aware of any policy reviews that we're doing today. Is that correct?
No, sorry, no updated policies.
Okay. The 10-year anniversary subcommittee report was in the packet, so I'm not going to take time, given that I know we're pressed a little today to go over it. I think everyone's had a chance to go through it. If anyone does have feedback that they would like to share, that would be welcome. And then I will schedule our next meeting after this meeting today. I didn't want to do that until we met, just in case there was feedback. Last time when we did our presentation, there were some good recommendations and we wrote those into the agenda for the next meeting. And that was my intention today. So
I have some comments. Should I send them to you?
Sure. I mean, if you wanted to make them now, that's okay too. It's I just figured by putting it in the packet rather than distributing it today, that would have given everyone a chance to look at it. So if you have any comments that you want to send me, I have not set up the meeting yet. My plan is to send something out to the group and say these are the dates that seem to be available. So, just do it in the next couple of days. That should be fine. I'll get it on the agenda for our next meeting. And as Debbie shared, we had a look at some of the ideas for some of the merchandising ideas. And if either of the committee members wanted to share anything, you're welcome to at this time. It's up to you. Yeah.
So you're talking about a one-time celebration kind of reception that would be on a Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're aiming for. And then be some activities that would sort of dovetail with it. That could be leading up to it and following it. But the main event will be that one-day celebration on the Sunday. And we figured that would fit in nicely with an afternoon concert, to attract people. We've talked about, inviting the community and members, who've donated significantly. We still have all of that in a database. Granted, we'll probably do it all by email because by this point, it's 10 years old because it's the 10-year anniversary. So emails are likely to be good in most cases. Not so sure about addresses, particularly for people who've moved away. So we'll just do our best effort at reaching out to the community and advertising and then sending out some direct emails.
Okay.
Letting people know about it.
I guess I just don't understand how that's going to work if no staff is working that day.
That's why. So the staff can come to.
But so is the rest of the library going to be closed?
Yeah, we could,
Right.
slide the date and close off the rest. We've done that before where we've closed off the library. And we thought that it was important for the staff to have an opportunity to actually participate in the celebration rather than ducking in for 10 minutes when they had a few minutes. So that's our thinking right now. If you have any particular thoughts on that, send me a little note so that I can share them with the group. And my intention is to continue to do this whenever we meet. We'll put some notes together for the group to review, and then after they've had a chance to review them, I'll present them to the board, and that way we won't spend a lot of time at the board meeting going over it, but the board will have a pretty good sense of what's going on. Debbie?
Yeah, I was just thinking about what Sarah said, and it also would be possible, because we have done it in the past when we've had events, is have some of the friends be willing to give some tours through the building for people that might not have been here before.
That was my concern, is that
Yeah, I mean,
you all know the donors better, but what if someone is coming from Plymouth or, moved away and is coming to it and then they don't get to see the library?
Yeah, I mean, I think it should be clear that the circulation desk is closed and it's only for people that want to have somebody, show them the building.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and that was a big part of what we did during the fundraising was we had tours and
Right.
took people around. Good, and that's just like last time. That's a great recommendation that we didn't mention at our meetings. I don't know if it would have come up, but it came up here, so definitely it will be included in the thinking. Okay. Okay, unless there's anything else on the 10-year anniversary, turn room updates, Melanie, anything in there?
Yeah, just a big thank you to Willow and Jim Fazio for the painting of the Turner Room. It looks really beautiful. I got samples of it, but you never really know how a room is going to feel until it's all done. So if you've not spent any time in that space yet, I recommend going in and taking a look. We don't have any art there yet as we're letting the walls fully dry, but I'm really excited to see the next exhibit up there. So thank you very much, Willow.
You're welcome. Interesting. We were at an event this weekend and I never noticed before I walked into this person's house. It's a beautiful house. And they have some paintings from the Kremlin that were during Stalin's time on a wall of exactly that color.
Wow.
And he said, "Where did you pull the color?" They said, "Oh, that's all the walls at the art museum at Yale are painted that color."
No way.
He said, "Oh yeah."
I know. Look at us being really beautiful and vogue. Really cool. It's great.
Okay, thank you.
Was there too.
Anything additional on the Turner Fest follow-up, or did we sort of cover that when Debbie did her French?
I just wanted to say congratulations to Melanie about it. I know that was a huge effort that you put into it and spearheaded it, and I just thought it was fantastic. My children and I had such a good time at it. The circus was just amazing, and the way that you did that, having it be 10-minute performances every hour was, I mean, it was just so great for kids. That part, and it was all fantastic. So
So fun.
yeah, it was so much fun.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I don't know if you saw the select board meeting, but they were also applauding it and saying how great it was and how many people attended. So just very well done.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Glad everyone had a good time.
Okay, we are going to move on to new business. And we have staff committee, the staff appreciation subcommittee. For those who were not here last year, we made a decision. We always sort of have a staff appreciation event. And what's happened in the past is basically the staff has had to plan it all and do it through. And we sort of looked at that and said, no, we should really do that. I mean, if we're saying, we're having the board is having a staff appreciation event, it should be the board that's really doing that. So if you would like to let me know if you would like to be on that subcommittee, either at this meeting or after the meeting. If no one speaks to me today, I'll send out a note after the meeting and just saying.
When is that going to be? Do we know when that is?
It's
Usually the spring. I think
spring.
they did it May last year, but it's usually April.
Yeah, it's somewhere in there. I don't have the date in
So it's
my
this-
head right now, but there's plenty of lead time at this point, which that's why we've put it on a unofficial planning calendar so that it doesn't come up and all of a sudden we say, oh, next month is So what I will do is unless anyone speaks to me today, I will send a note on this. And we will go from there. The trustee report card first, I thank everybody for submitting their responses, and I apologize for sending out the wrong one the first time around. What I attached the first time around was the individual trustee report card, and that's the one again for background, mainly I think for Robin in this case. Is last year we decided that the individual trustee report card was the self-reflection and that we weren't going to publish that or discuss it at the board meeting. But the trustee report card was included in the packet. And what I tried to do, and I think I did it successfully, is where people made comments in addition to saying yes sometimes or no. Occasionally people made comments, and I tried to put that into the summary as well. I hope that I didn't make the font too small, making it difficult to read, but I sort of wanted to get it on 2 pages. I didn't want to have a 6-page report card. I think if you look at the report card in the packet, in most instances, the responses are yes, we're doing it, with some commentary along the way. And then there were some areas where there were questions. Robin in a couple of places, because she's a new trustee, basically said, not sure exactly, what the question is asking, so we can discuss that. And in a few instances, the answer was no, and we can go over that. So I think the way I'd like to do this, for expediency, if you will, is if we look at the report card. I'll take it section by section, and if anyone wants to discuss anything for the record, for the minutes, we'll stop and have that discussion. Otherwise, if we're all in agreement on something, I don't think that we need to spend time, going over it. So the first section: does the board operate under a written set of bylaws and follow the laws that govern board operations? Most of us said yes, and Mary said somewhat or sometimes. So if there's any discussion there, this would be the time.
I said sometimes, because if you look at our bylaws, and you look at item in particular, under Article 5, number 5, there will be a prepared agenda, which will include call to order, approval of minutes of previous meetings, financial reports, report of the library director, reports of the other library staff, reports of committees, action items, and other business. And as I've just read, it says financial reports. We do not have a financial report in this packet. We did not have a financial report in last month's packet. I believe that these bylaws require a financial report to be included in every packet every time we meet.
Okay, I hear that, and I think what we've probably gravitated to is doing a quarterly financial report. We could certainly include it in the agenda, and with the understanding that we'll go into detail on a quarterly basis, but not into detail at every meeting. So anybody else have comment or question on that?
So the bylaws aren't correct as to how we're operating right now.
Yeah, and I think we can address that by including financial, put that as a line item in the agenda, with the understanding that we will do a full discussion quarterly.
Mhm.
And if something particular comes up out of that quarterly frequency, it's certainly germane to raise it at the meeting and say, for instance, CD renewal. If that comes up outside of the framework of the quarterly review, and there's a question on renewing the CD, that could certainly come up. I think what we have gravitated to is trying not to have an in-depth financial discussion at every meeting. Sarah?
I'd have to look through my notes, but I kind of have a vague recollection that we changed that to quarterly. Didn't we discuss this at some point? And I thought,
I think we did, but what we didn't do, and this is germane
We didn't change the
Mary's notice, we didn't change the bylaws.
we talked about it with the okay, I would have to.
Yeah, and alternatively, what we could do is bylaw review is something that we do.
Yeah.
It's scheduled, what is it, every 5 years, I believe. But there's nothing that says we have to wait 5 years to review them. So I would actually be in favor of adjusting the bylaws to reflect that we would have a quarterly discussion. And again, that wouldn't preclude having a discussion when the need arose.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I'm just having major deja vu that this came up and that then we amended
yeah.
the bylaw, but
And we didn't amend the bylaw, we just decided that
Okay.
we would maybe do it on a quarterly basis.
so I would just have to look through the minute, but
Yeah.
I think we should amend them.
All right, well, I've got to
So
know.
we can do it for next.
So, maybe at our agenda prep meeting, we'll bring that up and decide what to do. I recall discussing it. Because we didn't do it willy-nilly. I know that. We just sort of started doing it, but, I don't think we reflected on the fact that it was spelled out in the bylaws that a financial report needed to be included in every agenda. Okay, are the bylaws current and they do accurately reflect? I think that covers the same thing that we just discussed, is the area there that we need to address is the financial part. The next one, effective committee structure that involves members, we all sort of agreed there. And let's see, I guess Robin had a question, assigned a role, friends.
That's more, I just needed
Just one role.
my own clarification.
Yeah.
It's
And
my own fault.
Yeah, and I know it's no one's fault. I think that it's germane to raise that question here. And I think the committee structures, we form subcommittees when we need them and fill them and then have reports at board meetings. I think the goal there is to have the in-depth discussions away from the meeting and have a report at the meeting and move on, rather than, having an in-depth discussion of the 10-year anniversary, the staff appreciation. Those things can be done.
Or were you asking about these ones? This what you're
I
asking
was
about?
more asking about the ones at the bottom, the trustee liaisons. And
how
maybe
Willow's
those are two,
are-
Okay.
maybe those are two different things.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever really spelled them out. The building and grounds, it's myself, and that's if there's a building and ground. If let's say we wanted to do something with the parking lot, Melanie would say, Al, we're gonna be looking, we're gonna have someone come in looking, we're doing lines or something. Would you like to be included in that meeting? Or I would say, I'd like to be included in it. And likewise with finance, art, and policy. So, I think it's a question of if something comes up in that area, either Melanie would approach that person and say, this is what's happening, would you like to be included? Or if you're aware from discussion at a trustee meeting that something is happening, you would then say, yeah, when that discussion takes place, I'd like to be included in it.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm learning more. Like the first time I went to the Friends meeting, they said, well, do you have something to say? I was like, I'm supposed to say something.
Yeah.
Well, I think with the friends, with the library director also always being at that meeting, I think it's, if there are things that you could talk to Melanie beforehand, and if there were particular trustee-oriented things that you'd rather you brought up instead of Melanie, that would be fine too.
Yeah.
I think it's between the two of you to,
Right.
but you've certainly been great. It's like we've sucked her into a lot of our activities already. It's like she's a willing participant in Friends events.
I am. I made those things on the turnip fest.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, no,
Turnip
you are
balls.
great helping out.
Out of,
Yeah.
Okay, on the
gloves.
next four items, we all seem to be in agreement. The thing about the agenda and meeting documents distributed in advance, the packet, Mary had suggested the packet, in addition, go on the website. Any thoughts on that? I don't have a strong feeling one way or the other. I think given our public attendance at the meetings, if someone wanted to attend, we publish when we meet. So that would be my thought on that, but it was a thought that was raised. So any further discussion on that?
Do you want it on the library website or the town website?
The library website, just like the town select board, their packet is always on there. And I look at it all the time before one of their meetings
Mhm.
for their agenda and for what's going to be on the meeting to discuss. And I was just thinking that there was no reason why we couldn't do the same thing.
Yeah, I don't,
Let's let Melanie think about it. I think
Yeah.
that's a big thing to surprise her with.
I'm not opposed to doing it. I just, a distinct thing that's different from the way that our meetings run versus other ones at town hall or pretty much any other department is I do all of the everything. I
Mhm.
put the, packet together, I set up for the meeting. So I'm not opposed to doing it. I just want to, figure out how that would sort of make sense so that it would be being done consistently
Mhm.
and sort of sustainably. So let me think about how that would kind of make sense to work in the workflow to make sure that it is accessible and manageable. But thank you for the suggestion.
okay. And then the training and orientation. We really haven't had a formal training. Basically, I think what we've done is made available the various documents
Mhm.
that a new trustee would need to be aware of. And I know the MBLC runs a trustee orientation,
I did all that.
and that's, promoted. So any additional comments there?
And I just think that when Robin joined the board, um, Melanie and I met with her to discuss the financial stuff.
Right.
I just think that that's something that wasn't joint, that was just
Hmm.
something that was worked out.
Right.
And I think that's something that's important to do whenever anybody is new. And it's not just the finance. I mean, I was involved with that because I'm down here for finance. But I don't think did you meet with anybody else? No.
No.
So we didn't have a
Just
joint,
Melanie.
what I don't consider what we've had, a jointly conducted training program. It says jointly conducted. We don't do, I'm just
Right.
saying we either say we're doing it or we don't have it in there to say we're not doing it.
Well, I think the report card is saying, do you do these things? And in that particular instance, where we're not doing it
Right.
jointly, my feeling there is we're providing the necessary materials, and if there are questions, they would be asked.
Right.
I think if we had a year where there were multiple new members, new trustees, I think it would be more important for us to do it than because we would have people who don't have a history or a background of what's going on. But I think the way we've been doing it is fine for now.
Yeah,
That's my opinion.
And we all agreed about what was gonna go in the packet that was emailed to you
Yeah.
when you.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
did read it all and I
Yeah.
did do all the ML.
Yeah, I think what we're talking, that the document is just a listing of documents. That's not any jointly conducted discussion. It's just a
Yeah, it's
listing of
not a
documents.
discussion.
No,
It's the
It's just a
information.
But
listing
it
of,
said, do you have a
Yeah.
training orientation so that's our orientation is that you receive the email,
Right.
right?
And the
Am I
MBLC.
reading that right? Yeah, and we all jointly
It's an
put that
or
together.
situation. It's an either or. You don't have to do them all. It's an either or kind of thing.
Okay, does
I
the
mean, if you
board,
thought it worked out well, you were,
Well, I'm a compulsive reader, so I read everything that you sent me. So yeah.
and then we got to work during the summer together,
Yeah,
so
worked this
it's.
summer, yeah. I just reached out because that's,
okay, do we work closely with the municipal governing agents? Most of us said yes to that, and Mary said somewhat or sometimes. And there are times when we're not in exact sync with, around financial issues mainly. But I think generally speaking, we work closely with the municipality. Uh, Qualifications and duties clearly stated in terms of appointment, limited. And again, Robin had a question as a new, not understanding the question.
I find that.
Yeah.
Is there
There's-
one of the packets that you sent me?
Yeah, yes, but the MBLC I actually have the physical copy, like what does it mean to be a library trustee?
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
read that.
I think we have I think we sent you an
Okay,
electronic
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's there. I wasn't sure where to look for that.
And there's that web page too. Sorry, I had to step out. Did you guys address that we have the trustees page on the library website?
Right.
Yeah, we didn't mention that, but
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah.
The, where are we? Representing the whole community, most of us felt that we're really not quite there. we are attempting to address the age and youth who are student ambassadors. Certainly ethnicity, where we're not there in terms of ethnicity. Uh, Areas of expertise, we've talked about trying to get board members that have varying areas of expertise so that they can bring that to the discussions that we have. Our problem has typically been when we're looking for people to run for the Board of Trustees, we're generally lucky if we get people to step up and say, we're interested in running. So we haven't been able to really go into depth and really reach out to a lot of people and try to get a broad background. But it's something that we're aware of.
Yeah, I mean, I think as a small rural library, we're doing what we can. And at the last election, the fact that we had 4 people running for 2 seats, I think proved
That's the first.
yeah, that we made a concerted effort to reach out to the public that there was going to be an empty seat.
Yes.
So, we talked about it at the meeting that we knew there was going to be an empty seat, and we had several more people that didn't even end up running that were
Yes, I
interested.
think
So
we had about 6 initially, and then we actually talked more specifically with 4.
So I mean, I do think that question, because again, we know that these things are written for all of Massachusetts, is really more of like a city library. And I really think we're doing the best that we can with the volunteers that are available in our town of around 5,000 people.
And I think what we need to do too is just pause like we are today. Just say,
Yeah.
all right, let's stop, look at it, talk about it a little bit, see if there's something that we really, say, no, this is something we absolutely have to do. So we're aware of it, and I think in the back of our mind, at least, we keep working on it. Maintain good working relationship with government officials. Most of us said yes. Mary has some concerns, sometimes. Reading between the lines, sometimes, maybe not. But I think generally, we're okay there. The next couple, we all seem to be in agreement on policies being reviewed and up to date. We don't really do a policy manual. It's all on the website now, and I think we've agreed that that's fine. That's the way we want it. Current strategic plan for the future growth and development of the library. Mary, I'm interested in your response on that one because
I don't think we've done anything.
Melanie just
I
did
think
one.
Melanie
She
just
did it
completed
already.
this.
The strategic plan, I agree with that.
Well, that's
But
what
I'm
it-
just saying that we haven't really about the future growth and development of the library. I'm just saying that I just don't feel that we've had what I would call a decent discussion on what that means for the future growth and development. That's.
Geez, Mary, I think that is the strategic.
It is, it's
Yeah.
a 5-year plan, right?
That's fine.
Isn't it a
If you all
5-year
agree,
plan?
that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm putting down my comment.
That's fine. And I think that gives us, just as it did, an opportunity to discuss it. And in this case, we think that the strategic plan is doing that. And what I hear Mary saying is maybe, we should have had a little more discussion about it. And if, she wants to pursue that would be a question, we'll put her on the agenda at some point. But I feel that the strategic plan does that. Does the board work systematically to assure adequate, current and future library funding? Again, I see most of us think that it does. And I think, Mary, your position is we could do more.
And that sort of fits in with the prior one.
Okay. And cultivation of donor, there we're all in agreement that we don't do it. And that it's really, I think, we did it when we were building the new library. And I think the Friends really takes care of the fundraising to support the programs, et cetera, for the library. And my sense is that we've Even though it's all in the negative saying, no, we don't do that, we're comfortable with that. That's the way
Yeah,
we
well,
decided to do it.
twofold thing. Reading different things that come across on the MBLC, the Friends Network. It's interesting because some groups, some libraries have friends and trustees, friends and a fundraising arm, friends and trustees that are not elected. It runs the gamut of
Yeah.
things, but I think that a lot of them have a second fundraising aspect to it as far as big bucks.
Mhm.
Just like
That's
just
what I'm
like-
talking about.
Right. Just like Mary and Mimi and you and the whole El Biffy team
Mhm.
did for raising the money for the library. A lot of them, or like with Brewster doesn't even have a Friends group. They have one big group that like does everything. And they're constantly raising money for things. But I mean, different libraries have set it up differently. But it certainly, I mean, I see the trustees reach for people with, as I said, big bucks is probably more than what the Friends
Mhm.
do. I mean, it's great. We got another $10,000 donation 2 weeks ago. But I think that Mary's looking at bigger money.
Right, future needs.
Right.
What you're essentially, and I was a member of the Friends for many, many years. I was
Yeah.
the treasurer, as was Al.
Right.
And we worked on what we needed to do to raise funds for the programs, for the music, for the this, for the that, goes
Yeah.
on and on.
Right.
But that's not the future.
Right.
That's not, as you say, big bucks. That's not, at some point, are we going to need 100,000 for something?
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
we're not talking about doing that with the Friends right
Right.
now. And we're not doing anything with the
Yeah,
trustees.
Trustees.
And I think we've got to, and this library is 10 years old now. And I think we've got to look further along than just what we need for our programs and our books for next year.
Okay, so that's a discussion that, given, the opportunity, we can engage in it. Do we evaluate ourselves? Yeah, we go through and we do this each year. Is that adequate? Is it not adequate? Apparently, we all agree that what we're doing is okay. Good communication. Most of us said yes, and Mary somewhat sometimes. And I think, sometimes there's a request for more clarity on issues, and that's what individual trustees do. And does the board encourage and fund trustee and staff attendance at local, state, and national meetings? We're all in agreement that we do that. So I sort of did a quick and dirty run through of it, so that we could go through it. And I would be happy to speak with anybody who wanted to discuss it further. And then if there was anything to bring back to the board for future discussion, we could always put that on an agenda. But I think that we've accomplished what the purpose of the report card is in terms of today's meeting. Okay, all right, just a reminder, next month, we're gonna do a 6-month review of the trustee goals. So Melanie, I'm assuming in the packet will,
I'll send it
Yeah.
before the packet. I'll
Yeah.
put them in the packet too, but just, to give you.
yeah, and this way then we can, everybody has a chance to review what the existing goals are. And then when we get to the meeting, we can come in and say, yeah, I'd like to discuss number 3 or number 6, rather than going through them at the meeting. The next one, typically, we were renewing our CD in January, obviously, since we did a 1-year CD, a 12-month CD. That's not going to happen until July, so this was just a reminder. And student ambassadors might be interested in this next one. Begin the exit interview for student ambassadors. What we are really thinking of here is where, here we are in December, is at this point at least, start thinking amongst your classmates, your friends, who might be willing to step up and attend the meetings to find out what we're doing and to provide us with information about what the needs of the high school students are. And rather than, a month before your terms are ending, saying, have any names for us? Start thinking of that now. Maybe talk with a couple of friends, say, is this something you'd be interested in doing?
Are both of you seniors?
No, they're
No.
fresh.
Yeah, so you can serve another year.
Yeah, you don't have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, we're, no,
We're not taking-
I think
That's different this year.
you should be aware that,
Yeah.
that in the past, we have usually had a senior, and obviously at the end of the school year is the end of the school year and they're off to college.
Mhm.
And neither of you are seniors.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why you couldn't continue to be on the board for another year, given the fact that you're not seniors and not leaving.
Yeah.
That would be up to you.
So what you want to do is, in addition to, what I just said of thinking of speaking with friends, if as you're reflecting on this, you're saying to yourself, yeah, I'd be willing, to do this, let us know that. Let Melanie know or let me know. And that would certainly change the way we would approach preparing for student ambassadors for next year. So either way, either if you're interested in continuing, we'd love to have you continue. This is the first time we've not had seniors, as
Yeah,
Mary said.
Exciting.
And
It's exciting to have the
Ooh, yeah.
possibility.
yeah, that there's the possibility of, because in so many of these jobs, I know when we all got elected, the first year we're sort of learning, as you heard Robin say,
Still learning.
where, there are things that everybody sort of knows, but you don't. And it's not because you didn't do something you were supposed to do, it's just because everybody else was around.
Yeah.
And so just keep that in the back of your mind. And when the student ambassador report comes up each time, I'll probably just say any thoughts about, if you reached out to anybody, have you given any thought to what your plans are? So we'll just keep it alive.
Yeah, perfect.
Melanie, we're back to you with the building review checklist.
Sure. So as I sent out in an email, last week, we had some issues with the HVAC system again in the same area that we've been having some issues in. So it impacts the VIS room and the Turner room. They were able to do kind of an intermittent fix. I'd have to follow up with DPW to see if they did everything that they needed to get the system fully up and running again. But we didn't have to sort of lose heat in the interim there, so that was fortunate. I don't have any additional documentation for you all yet from Jackie about the contract for the plan on the current roof repair. But I'm hoping to have something that I can send you out this week. She was hoping to have a signed contract, pardon me, at the end of last week to share. But I didn't get any updates from her. So expect that soon. And that'll tell us kind of how we're proceeding forward with the longer term roof repair. Just as an aside, Rich mentioned to me that he's planning to put the roof repair item separate from the capital plan when we go to town meeting, just as a note for how that will be structured. And if you have any questions about that, please let me know and I'll do my best to get more information for you. That's it for me. Thanks.
And any other updates there? I think those are the only two that we really
Yeah.
are talking about. I do not have any other business for today. Does anybody else? Mary.
We've discussed having the live streaming from the library available and the conversations back and forth with myself and you and Rich. And it's my understanding that the availability is there. And I got an email from Rich saying that, and I sent a copy to Al. This is from Rich. As I understand it, we're all set to broadcast meetings live. I'd suggest Melanie talk directly with Rafael on its utilization, as he is the one that knows about the particular details. Have you had a conversation with him?
No. So I think there are a few different things that we have to consider. Right now, we're doing the meetings down here because the Turner Room isn't really available at the same time as our meetings. So if we're planning to use that equipment, we would have to consider moving the time of our meetings so that it doesn't interfere with library programs.
Mhm.
So that would kind of be the first step, really.
No, I'm just making sure that we understand how it works and that we can have meetings up there, live streaming.
I'll check in with him. I have no idea how that would work, so we would
Yeah, so
need to
that, I
have.
think we've got to meet and figure out what needs to be done or understand how it needs to be done in order to not just us. I'm not considering just us, but town meetings as well.
So is this a priority over other things that we've got going on, or?
I think it's a priority because of the need to be able to do it from our library and not just the town hall.
I'm kind
Immediately?
of curious,
No, it's not immediately.
I'm kind of curious how all of a sudden, when with Mike Caleri and with Devin, it was going to be very expensive equipment involving Xfinity Comcast in order for us to broadcast live and not just have a Zoom kind of thing.
Mhm.
What was changed upstairs to make that?
It's my understanding something was changed as a result of what we've changed in the library. I'm not
Okay.
I'm not
I know,
an
but it was
IT person.
a lot of money. So, I mean,
You know, but now Rich has been told me that that's not the case.
Is this,
So-
are we talking about we're talking about live streaming town meetings when they're
Yeah,
here?
could be sure.
Yeah, I would kick it to if the town wants to live stream meetings, they've have the staff to figure that out. And if they're saying the equipment is in place, I don't want to move it up as a priority for the trustees or for Melanie to have to deal with it. If the town wants to live stream their meetings, I don't think it's on us to say the
Right,
town
yeah.
has to live stream the planning board and the zoning board. I mean, if the facilities are here and the town is saying those facilities are
then-
capable of doing it, then extend an invitation to them to come in and set it up so that they can live stream whatever they want to live stream.
Yeah, I agree. I'm saying that based on what Rich has told me, we are able to do it. We have the facility to do it. And I think that he would want Melanie to understand what the process is up there in order for town meetings to be held live streaming.
I'll touch base with our follow-up, but
Yeah.
I'm not aware that there's have been any upgrades to the upstairs that would have changed that to allow that to
Mhm.
happen.
So I'm just responding to what Rich has told me.
Yeah,
So,
I guess I'm just
and I'm not an
wondering-
IT person
Yeah,
either.
I'm
So.
just wondering what sort of the impetus for this is right now. Like,
Well, it's been something that we've been working on, and as I said, I think it's a positive for the library to be able to live stream meetings that are held here at the library, not just at the town hall. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you to jump up right now and fix it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and again, I think it should be, if it's a town-run meeting, I think it's a town, we've got the equipment and we've got the
Mhm.
building,
Yeah,
and we've
yeah.
got the room.
Mhm.
But, they should have the people there to set it up and do it.
Yeah, they're gonna have to
Oh.
clone Wayne and Ravel.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, yeah, well, I don't think we should have to, again, with our limited staff. I don't think we should have to pull the staff away from something that they're doing to facilitate the live
I
streaming.
agree fully. I'm just saying that if we have the facility to do it, then we should be able to proceed to do it
Yeah.
and providing the town with another place to provide live streaming
Yeah.
versus just town hall.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think that's what the library is here for, to support the town.
Well, I would kick it to the town and just maybe the biggest overture I would just ask of you, Melanie, is to say, gee, you're saying live streaming, there's the capability here. Let us know what your next steps are.
I'll talk to Rich.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's sort of the part that confuses me. If the trustees have something that they want me to pursue through the town, I'm happy to reach out to Rich with any questions that you have. I don't think you need to reach out to Rich directly. I'm confused about what like the ultimate goal is for this, because if it's something that the trustees are asking, I should be clear on what that request is so that I can pursue the resources to do that. If it's just a like nice to have, then I think it's on the town to figure out when it is that they want that to happen, and then they'll do it.
And that's where I'm coming from. I'm really, you know, I don't think I'm asking the board to ask anything at this point. Is apparently communication that's taken place as there's the capability to do it.
I can check in with Rafal to see if it's possible right now, but what I'm hearing is that it's not a priority of the board if it's not possible to pursue how that should occur.
Right.
Okay, all right.
That I think we're not voting on it, but that would be what I'm reading is the consensus.
Sure, be happy to do that.
Okay. Okay,
I have a couple of other things.
okay, so under other business, Mary?
Do you have any update on the EV stations?
EV.
Last I heard from Shayna was that they're waiting on the results on a
contract.
grant contract.
Mhm.
So I believe they should be receiving the funds to get an upgraded maintenance contract on those. But last I heard from her was a couple of weeks ago on that, so I can reach out to see if she has any.
See what the story is on that. And I'm going to request that we work out an arrangement so that the $100 from the Timothy Smith Fund be moved from the Timothy Smith Fund to the library. We've had conversations with Jackie and she says it's an easy thing to do. I've had conversations with Tina and that's an easy thing to do. It's just from one account to the other. That was the will and the trust that Timothy Smith put together, and I don't see any reason why the monies can't be moved from one account to the other for the use of the library.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So you want that to be done right now? I didn't know if the town had a particular time of year that they do.
Well, if you would like, I can talk to Tina about it.
Mary, I can
Okay, well,
communicate with anybody in the town. You
okay,
just have to tell me what it is that you want me to,
Talk to Tina.
and tell her that you want it transferred now.
Well, there's no reason why it can't be.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? Is it possible for Mary to send these things to us during our agenda planning? Because I feel like we're like surprising Melanie with all of these
This isn't,
asks.
the Timothy Smith thing has been discussed numerous times.
But to me, that should be on the agenda that we discuss as a follow-up, right? So you would email Al or Melanie and say, I'd like to put this on the agenda, and then we can talk about it during the agenda planning.
No, I'll leave that up to you. If the IT thing was I sent that to Al and Melanie.
It just also makes it hard for us to plan how long the meetings are gonna be when you have 5 things to go over at the end of the meeting as well. So I don't think it's fair to Melanie, and then I don't think it's fair to the rest of us when we think that the meeting is gonna be about these topics. And then additional topics are brought up and there's discussion going on them. That's what an agenda is for.
Okay. Thank you.
That's considered, we have the term other updates, so on the agenda, so I'm assuming that's open. There's nothing listed under there. There's just other updates. Maybe you shouldn't have other updates on the agenda.
I think what Sarah is saying, I don't want to speak for Sarah's, is if there are anticipated things, I think if we know ahead of time and we get it on the agenda, or at least discuss it at the agenda prep meeting, that puts everybody else in a better position to respond to what's being raised.
I'll be happy to come to the agenda prep meetings, which I have done in the past, but it requires
You have to
post a meeting.
Yeah, and we've been doing them virtually at this point, or basically the agenda is coming, proposed agenda is coming out, and then we're responding with, I think this needs to be added, or what do you mean by this, or what do you mean by that? So we're not physically sitting down and meeting to go over the agenda on a monthly basis. So, but yeah, I think if there are specific things, if you could just drop a note, and at least in that way, we'll talk about it ahead of time, and then Melanie will also be in a better position to answer some of the questions, rather than having to follow up later on. Any other issues? I would therefore entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Okay,
We have a motion and a second to adjourn, Sarah and Robin.
yeah, didn't come up, but I said second.
4:29.
Any additional discussion? Hey, Mary,
Aye.
Aye.
I
5-0. Thank you very much, everyone. Until